Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. In this video, I want to show you how to make quiz using the Google Forms. What is Google Form Quiz? So Google Form Quiz is widely used in education and professional settings for its simplicity in curation, effective grading features, and robust analytics capabilities. Let's get started so I can show you how you can access the Google Form Quiz. When you get into google.com, all right, so there are different ways you can access your Google Form quiz. So this is the first method. Go to this point, Google Applications, click on that, go all the way down to find this form and click on it. Another way you can access your form quiz is that you log into your Google Drive, okay? Go to where you have the new, click on the new. All right, scroll all the way down to where you'll find Google Forms. All right, now you will find your blank quiz. You can go straight to that point and click. So let's walk through this part and click. All right, now that we are in the quiz, so what we would have to do, I'll walk you through the platform. So this is your quiz and the quiz form, how it looks like. So we're going to title the quiz. So I'll just click on that part and put in the title of the quiz. All right. Okay, that's the title of the quiz. I'll just click anywhere. You would notice that automatically it comes to this point where we have the title and it replaces it. All right, now that we've added the title to this quiz, it's important to come to the settings section to set up certain information here. So I'll click the settings. Okay, now depending on how you got into the quiz, Google quiz forms, it's important that you come to this part. It says make this a quiz because we started off with a quiz. We didn't start off with forms. So that's why you can see this is on. If we had gone through forms, it means we would come to this point and turn this on. So it's okay as it is. Now we'll scroll a little bit down and check some of the settings. Immediately release grades immediately after each submission. Okay, that is fine. So respondents or students can see what their marks are. Okay, so all those parts are okay. So I want to go a little bit downwards here. All right. Okay, default question point value. Okay, we can set this up on the question sections. Now let's come to the responses. Manage how responses are collected and protected. All right, so I'll click the more arrow there and see what is here. I say collect email addresses. We don't need that, so we'll leave this as it is by default. I am more interested in this section where it says limit to one response. So we'll turn this on so that respondents don't get to answer more than once. All right, now here presentation, let's click the more arrow to see what we can set here. Okay, manage how the form and responses are presented. All right, here form presentation, show progress bar. So we'll come here and turn it on. Now this is important so that let's assume there are 50 questions that needs to be answered. Okay, so it's important that respondents are able to see their progress and see how far they have gone. Okay, we'll skip the shuffle question, other will skip it. Now it depends on what the person who is setting the quiz wants, but I'm going to skip that. All right, here after submission confirmation message. Okay, so by default we have this, your response has been recorded. So that's by default, but if you want to edit that, you can click the edit and type in whatever it is you want. We can just replace what is there. Okay, so we just repeated that, your response has been recorded, and I'll click on save. It's the same thing that we have there. Okay, show link to submit another response. We'll just keep all those sections. Restrictions, disable autosave for all respondents. Okay, so we'll leave that as it is. Then let's come to this point, defaults. Form defaults, click the more arrow to see what is here, and collect email. These are the defaults. So it's going to be like that. Question default, make questions required by default. So this is turned on, you will see all of this, how it plays out when we create the form. So now that we have set all this, let's get back to the questions tab. So here in the title section, it's important that you enter the quiz description so that the respondent would know what the quiz is all about. So here is the description of the quiz. In this section, this is where we can click at this point and begin to enter the questions, or we can come through the section and add a question. But to start, I'm going to click here because we already have a section to start off with. So I will click here and add my first question. Then click anywhere at that point. What should a strong password contain? So to add options, I'll click at that point and add options. Click here to add options. Click at this point to add options. Click here to add options. Alright, so I'm very sure that you already know what the answer would be. What should a strong password contain? So now let's set the answer. So to do that, I'll come to this point and click answer key. Alright, so in this answer key, we have the point section. Now it's really up to the person who is setting the quiz to allocate point. If it is an easy question, you can say 5 points. If it is difficult, you can make it 10 points and then choose which is supposed to be the answer. Now, if you look down here, you would see add answer feedback. Okay, so if we click on that, if respondent chose an incorrect answer, what should display? You might leave it like so or just add something. Okay, so for this particular question, we'll add. For other questions, we're not going to add. Okay, for incorrect answer, we can say you were not smart enough. And then I will click the correct answers. And in the correct answer, we can put in whatever information that we want. So this is explanation of what the correct answer is all about, but here we said correct. Okay, once you key in everything, you come here and say save. Now we can now go to this point and say done. So let me scroll a little bit up so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so we click done. Great, so this brings us back to the question side where we have to add another question. All right, if you look towards to this point, you will see that this is toggled on. Now this simply means that this question is required and must be answered. All right, now to add another question, I'll come to this point and click the add question. Now for this question, if you look over here, there are different kinds of question type that you can add in the Google Form quiz. Okay, there is short answer, there is multiple choice answer, there is paragraph answer, there is check box answer, there is drop down answer type. Okay, if you want to know how to use all of this answer type, you should click the video that would appear at the end of this particular video, which is how to use Google Forms. So for this particular video on how to create quiz, I'll just work with the short answer type. Now click here. All right, to choose the short answer type. Now this would allow people to just enter a short answer to this question. Let's read this question. What is the minimum number of characters that a strong password should have? Okay, I'm sure you know that. The tech gurus, so the respondents will just key in the short answer there. Okay, now let's go to this point, answer key. Click on that. Let's make this 10-point question. Okay, and in this section you can see I would need to enter the correct answer, so I'll put that here, and then in this box which says mark all other answers incorrect, so I'll tick that. So whatever that is keyed in that is not 16 will be marked incorrect. Now, if this were to be more than one answer, you see the section that it gives me space here to continue to enter answers for this particular question, depending on the kind of question you are entering, right? I do not need to put feedback for this answer because I already showed you how to add answer feedback. So I'll go and say done. All right. If you look up here, I'll scroll upwards. If you look here, you will see the customized theme. Now this allows you to customize your quiz how you want it. So I'll click on that to show you a few things. You can change the header. This is the header, okay, and this is the description side. Here is the question section. So you can change the header font type to what you want and change the font size. The question, the same thing, you can change the font type and size, and text, you can change it how you want it to be. Now in the header section, we can choose an image. So if I click that point, now it presents themes. Depending on what you're working on, you can scroll all the way down and choose what you want, right? You can click there and browse through from your local computer to upload a picture. Okay, now this one would only save some pictures you have initially uploaded, and you can just choose from there. Okay, now I will just choose anything here. All right, let's just choose that so you can see how it looks. So I'll click insert. All right, so once the picture is inserted into your form quiz, you will see the color changes. It picks up the color from the picture and changes that in the form quiz. Okay, as you can see there, you may decide not to use a picture and just choose the color theme that you want from this point, okay, which is the background that you want, but we're going to leave it like so and click close. Now here allows you to preview your form. So let's click on that to preview the quiz. So if I scroll all the way down, you would see what the quiz looks like here. All right. Now you can see the progress bar, which is quite important for people to see how far they have progressed. Now this is basically all it takes to create a quiz using the Google form. So I'll close that and return back to the questions section. So this is where we started creating our form. In this section, you may want to add an image to a particular question. Okay, just click that. Let's try it out. Okay, you can get from webcam, URL, photos, Google Drive, and Google Images. So if we click the Google Images, from here we can search maybe computer. So this is an instance. I'll just choose any and click insert. You can click and resize the image that you just inserted. We can call this computer. Now this is a new section, but I can just go ahead and add another question so you can see. Where is RAM placed? Option here can be click to add an option, click to add an option, click to add an option. Okay, now that we've added the options here, I'll go to this point, click answer key, and choose the answer that we want. Okay, the answer here is motherboard, and we can come here and add a point. We'll call that 10, and we come here to say done, or we can go further to add answer feedback, which I won't be doing because I already did that in question number 1. So I'll click OK. All right, so this brings us back to the question section. Now this is just for you to see that you can add pictures before you start creating another kind of question, or you can add the picture from this side. Okay, now let's see how the picture would look like instead of adding the picture from here. All right, if you're adding a picture from here, it seems like it creates another section for you, as you can see here. But if you add a picture from here, it is embedded within this section, this frame of question. Let's go and see. So here I'm going to select and search for computer. Again, I'll select the same picture. You can click here, drag and resize your picture. You see what I meant? That you can embed a picture within the section of your question. Okay, and if you want to do that, you come to this section, click to embed a picture. Now, if you want to embed a picture that is off the section of the question, that is when you have to come to this part to select, just like we did, and we added a picture that has its own section before you can start to create other questions. All right, I hope this is quite clear. Now, that is it. To send this question to people to begin to answer, maybe your student, you need to come to this part and click send. Now, once you get into the send section, you will see here too, you put all the emails that you want. The subject is already there, and the message is that I have invited you to fill out. It's called a form, but you can just put what message that you want people to see. All right, it's a message or description, and they would see it. Okay, if you click here, you can get the URL of this quiz. You can click this box to get a shortened URL for the quiz, and then you share it to respondents. If I click this part, this is the link that you can use to embed in your website if you do have one, so you can have a long-term quiz for people to answer. Okay, or I can go to this part, share via Facebook or via Twitter. All right, so basically that's how you can do that. So I'll come back to this part. Okay, you can just copy, or come here, you click copy. So let's send this form quiz to someone to fill out. Okay, so I have sent this form, say, to someone, but of course, it is me. So I click OK. Now this person has access to the form. The person can go through, read everything and the description, and scroll all the way down here to, complete this particular quiz. What should a strong password contain? We said it was that. Okay. Okay, what is the minimum number of characters that a strong password should have? We'll say 16. Okay, and then we'll scroll the way down here. We can then see where is RAM placed. We'll say motherboard, and then we'll click submit. Your response has been recorded. All right, view score. This is where the person can see their score. Now total point, it says 30 over 30. All right, so it is correct. You can see how it looks like. It gives us the feedback. If you remember, I entered the feedback while the form was being created, because it was correct, gave the right one. So if it was wrong, it was going to say something different. All right, and this is correct. You see how it marks that, and people can see what they actually did. So that is it. Now let's go back to the quiz itself. So here I am back to the quiz, and what I wanted to show you is how do you see the responses of people. You come to this point, you can see yes, one person has responded. You click that section to see those who have responded. All right, so basically it's telling us what this is all about. So I got it. Okay, now here this section gives you the total summary of your quiz. Okay, and you can get the analytics or analysis of this particular quiz. Okay, you can get analysis for each of those questions. You can click at that tab individual to see individual answers for the quiz. Okay, now the next thing I like to show you is here is link to sheets. Okay, if I click the more arrow there, I can get email notification for new responses. If that's what you want, you can click on that. Okay, So you get each time there is a response, you get an email notification, but I don't like that. Here is select destination for responses. You can select it and put the destination. So I want to uncheck that. Okay, now this is linked to Sheet. You can click there to get detailed responses of respondents. By going to this part, you click on it. All right, and this is by default okay, and that's the title of the quiz. You just go to this part and click create. So now that you have the spreadsheet of this, you can now come here. If you want to download it, click the file tab. Now scroll the way to where you have download. Go straight to choose the type of download you want to make, because we want to have it in a spreadsheet. So we choose the Microsoft Excel, and then you can download your quiz and go further to do your detailed analysis. All right, thank you for watching. Now this brings us to the end of this particular tutorial. I hope you enjoyed that. Remember to click the like button, share, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. All right, and I will see you in the next video. Remember to click and watch the next video on how to use Google Forms. Bye.